Taking a first look inside the pages of O Magazine for March, and a familiar face jumps right out. Oprah giving a nod to our own Utah Congresswoman Mia Love for becoming the first black female Republican to join the ranks of the congressional GOP. The feature was part of a tribute to women who rocked and ruled in 2014, the magazine's way of celebrating International Women's Day, which is coming up on March 8th. Way to go. Speaking of great female role models, we all know women who have impacted our lives in positive ways. A friend, a sister, or maybe a mentor you look up to from a distance. Our next guest says we can afford to do a better job in recognizing and celebrating those female influences. Studio 5 contributor Connie Sokol is an author and creator of the program Back to Basics. She believes a day shouldn't go by without thanking a good woman in our lives. These are the women that we cherish the very most. We hold them near and dear, but you say we often overlook them.
Yes, and thank you. I was just sitting here thinking, thank you. You fly back in from Hawaii and you are right on it and just charming. Seriously, it's the women, and I find this, that I talk with my friends and we will occasionally apologize to each other and go, I'm so sorry, I'm a loser friend. Forgot your birthday and I called you after 3 months not talking and said, oh, I need you. And you know what? It's understood. And I love that about women, that there's this just general understanding of I'm here and I get it and I get your life and I'm here to be a support. That's what we do for one another.
We understand each other so well. You say we could afford to maybe dig a little deeper when it comes to strengthening those girlfriend networks, but you also caution not to close the door if years or an age difference separates us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's so easy because like, draws like, and we're in the same situation. And sometimes we can tend to diss the older women or just kind of dismiss them. They don't care about what the price of diapers is right now or how we're stocking our pantry, but they have such wisdom. I love talking to older women on the plane, in a restaurant. Tell me what you would do over. Tell me one thing you're glad you did. Give me a parenting pearl. What's one thing that worked for you? I love it. I remember talking with Ruth Todd one time. She was sitting in this conference thing and I turned around and I said, hi, I know you're enjoying the conference. So sorry. What's one thing you would do over? She just didn't miss a beat. I love her. But it's such a beautiful thing when we can glean from one another. I remember years ago, early married days, there was a lady that it was in our church, in our neighborhood, that she was kind of over the women, and she had 9 kids and she just was wonderful in sharing her experiences, her little details of how to boil a perfect egg or do a Thanksgiving dinner or sew. And she just was so free with it. And then years later, I happened to meet her and it was full circle. She ended up having a grandson that had Asperger's, and my oldest has Asperger's. And so we could chat and share and what would you do and how are you working this? And it was lovely. I love that Joan Anderson, she's the author of A Walk on the Beach. She talks about taking a middle-aged sort of rejuvenation year, and she meets Joan Erickson, who is the wife of the pioneer psychoanalyst Erik Erikson, and she's almost 90, and here's this Joan Anderson. They connect, and Joan Erickson becomes this mentor for her, and she shares all these little snippets and life wisdom and just encourages her to have more joy and add that to the trudgings. I love that she says, have some joy during all your trudging and don't forget to laugh. Tears no longer become you. What a great woman phrase.
And you have to say that relationship in particular is a great example of opening up the mind to not only different ages and stages of life and those different, age connections, but also other people's opinions and perspectives, trying those hats on for a size.
Well, I think sometimes we get kind of insecure as women, and so we think it has to be done a right way. And this committee thing has to be done a right way. And we get insecure and we don't let people have their own opinions. So first of all, we can just let someone else try. Instead of saying, well, I got to really make this shine, say, who else needs to shine? Who else can have an opinion here? Maybe she wants a plastic Hawaiian tacky theme. That's okay. And you want chic Martha Stewart? Let her try it. I remember years ago, oh my gosh, when I first started with Studio 5, 10 years ago, it has been so long, in and out.
Yes.
But the sweet executive producer, Michelle, was so darling. I'd never done TV before, and she was so darling and encouraging. And it's a 6-minute segment, people, okay? You're jamming when you're talking. And she asked, well, what ideas do you have? And I'm like, well, I can do 2 topics, and then I can move from this part of the set to this part of the set. And I was practically offering to do a dance. It was ridiculous. But she was so encouraging and nurturing and nudging and helped me to understand format. Let me try some new things that some of them worked. Some worked really good, and some of them, she said, here, you can do it differently. Beautiful. And she let me grow, and that's what we can do.
Letting someone else try. And it's permission we don't often give ourselves.
No.
But hopefully it'll be easy to open up that door to other women and take a step back and let them shine as well.
Exactly. And listening, asking questions, listening, and letting them try. And then being a cheerleader. Oh, boy, we could do that more for each other.
Whenever we talk about forging stronger female relationships, one word seems to pop up, and that's competition.
Yes.
We continue to sometimes unknowingly, I think, engage in these female competitions. How can we put a stop to that?
Wow, I wish I had the $1 million answer to that. But I think first and foremost is we can come together, stand together on things that we value together, not feeling like we have to prove anything, but to support one another in the things that we can get behind. I love when other people have heard what I have to say or feel the same way, and then they say, I can help you do that. And they, not even spending a lot of time, but I can help you do that. I love the example of, it's in Knowing Your Value, Micah Brzezinski, she shares an experience where these women are meeting with the Chicago mayor, and there's two women, and he's talking on and on about planning and development, and they're like, tick tock, looking at their watches. And finally he gets it, they're not listening, and he looks and he goes, what's going on? And they both look at each other, but there's this thing, this female thing that they share, and they just went, our kids have the Halloween parade in 20 minutes, and we've never missed one. And this good man, he looks at me and he goes, well, why are you still sitting here? It was marvelous, but because they stood together, there was this female camaraderie of, it was, okay, we can do this, we can support each other. I have personally felt that years ago when Bonneville approached me about doing a radio show. I remember they wanted 3 to 6 daily, and I said, I just can't. My kids at this stage, I can't leave them. But I could do 3 to 6 twice a day. And they said, the first thing they said was, Enid Green, another one that they had approached, she said the same thing, that she could do after 3 because she couldn't do after 3 because her kids come home. Maybe we could do it different. And so I said I could do 12 to 3, and they said, okay. And kudos to them. We had 3 hosts instead of 1, and we all did it part-time, and we all did it in a way that we could share a little bit, but still put our families first.
And that never would have happened
if would not have happened.
You weren't able to step up together.
That's right. I thought, yay, Enid, thank you for saying your values, and we could all support that, and it was to the blessing of everyone.
How can we keep in line with the competition, putting a stop to that, and opening our mind to others' opinions? How can we keep those female relationships, that female network, really going strong when the day-to-day crazy and chaos seems to take over so quickly?
I think loving words, supportive words. I've got to tell you, when women say to me, they post something on my page, they do something, they say, you know what, somebody just did that last night. Thank you so much for what you do. And I'm thinking of all the things that I didn't do well, and I'm like, thank you for being gracious and just noticing I'm trying. I love that. We just did a little family night last night where we did positive words, and I had everybody put some on a strip, and I taped them on the wall. And this morning I'm coming down the stairs and I'm seeing these different words: cheerful, happy, you're awesome, whatever. It makes a difference when we turn to a woman today and say, thank you, I know you bear burdens, thank you for all you do, especially the unseen. I'm telling you, she will love you forever.
I love the phrase, thank you for trying, too. Just recognizing the efforts, even if the outcome isn't what we hoped for.
Exactly. Even if the cupcakes, you can't recognize it. My birthday cakes are bad. But I tried, and my kids say, just put a lot of ice cream on top, Mom. And it's good. It's good.
Well, I get a dose of this every time I get an email from you or a text. So thank you so much. You're a shining example of this. You have some great books that can help women improve their relationships in their lives. And you have an offer going on right now on your website.
Yes, because we had 2 Studio 5 this week for some weird reason. So we decided to do 2 daily doubles. We said we're 99 cents, Caribbean Crossroads, fun, romance, clean. And then 99-cent Marriage is Like a Box of Chocolates. So it helps you 5 keys for healthy relationships. Fun. I've heard that husbands like it too. So 99 cents for each one.
ConnieSokol.com is where you go for those treasures. Thank you so much. All right, coming up.